The question is, was that a thought or was that a feeling? Another example for one of the commenters here who would like some examples of discerning, telling the difference between a thought and a feeling, right? Uh, One day I had to do some work on the bus, on the tour bus. And if it hasn't been started up for a little while, the air comes out of the air ride suspension system and the bus sits down pretty low. Then when you start the bus up and the air pressure comes back up, the bus will rise up on the air suspension system and come up higher, right? So if the bus has been, excuse me, if the bus has been sitting for a while, it'll be down pretty low and it's difficult to get underneath it. One day I had to do a little chore underneath the bus, and I didn't really feel like starting it up. I thought I might be able to crawl underneath there and take care of this little chore. And I did. I grabbed some tools, whatever I thought I might need, and I got on my back and I shimmied my way under the bus. It was tight, real tight, but I got underneath there and I was working on this part down there. And all of a sudden, I knew I needed a hammer. I didn't bring one with me. I had some wrenches and pliers and a screwdriver and whatnot. But as I got into the job, I just was faced with it. I need a hammer. Now, at that point, a couple of things began to happen, and I'm pretty aware of this stuff now. So I hope this will help you. I knew that was a first feel. It was a feeling, and it showed up as a first thought. Oh, I need a hammer. That should not be questioned. That should be acted upon. That was a feeling. Now, I my thought consciousness wanted to ignore it, primarily because it was going to cause me to have to crawl back out from underneath that bus and get a hammer and then crawl back in. And thought consciousness runs the body. Feeling runs the mind and the soul. So thought doesn't want to have to go out. It's going to look for a shortcut. This is how you can tell if it's a thought or a feeling. Thought's going to try to look for a shortcut. Feeling said, I need a hammer. Thought goes, well, we could use the pliers, use a wrench, take that rock over there and smash it with the rock. And that'll be thought coming in. Basically arguing down, talking down the first feeling, which was, I need a hammer. Now, I knew I could use something else. It appeared that I could, just to whack the thing. But I know the difference between a thought and a feeling, and I know there's reasons behind all these things that are bigger than what they appear to be at the moment, usually. So I crawled out and I said, I'm going to get a hammer and I'm not going to mess around and let my thoughts talk me into a shortcut here. So I shimmied out, and like I say, it's not difficult. It's not easy to do that. And I come out and get out and then stand up and go get the hammer. Well, when I did come out and I got ready to stand up to go to the toolbox and get the hammer, I noticed that the dogs had gotten out of the fence. They were out on the highway, out on the road. So that's not good. So immediately stopped what I was doing and went and retrieved these dogs who had dug out underneath the fence and gotten themselves just must have just did it, just gotten themselves out there on the road, and and that's not good because then they can get hurt. And so had I not come out for the hammer, I wouldn't have found the dogs in time, and they could have been roving and roaming all over the place before I noticed they were gone and maybe possibly got hurt. So listening to the feeling, knowing the difference, and not taking the shortcut saved the day.